this lesson, we're going to look at the G chord. There's a couple ways to do it, and we'll look at those different ways of making a G chord. First of all, we'll start with your first finger. First finger is going to go to the 2nd fret of your A string. Your middle finger, your 2nd finger, middle finger is going to go to the 3rd fret of your E string. So it's 1 fret higher than where we put your first finger on the top E string. So again, you're going to want to make sure your first finger is nice and close to that fret, so it makes it easy to reach that middle finger over. Okay, and we'll start with the first variation of the G string. You're going to add your 3rd finger. It's going to go all the way to the bottom string, your high E string, on the 3rd fret. That means that we have to keep a nice curve to the fingers and try to focus on our fingertips so that we leave the strings in the middle open, as in like no fingers are touching them. So again, we got our first finger, 2nd fret of A, middle finger, 3rd fret of E, and then your 3rd finger goes on the 3rd fret of your bottom E string. And you get to strum all the strings. Take a second and strum that chord a little bit. Take your hand off. Let's review it one last time. First finger goes to 2nd fret of A, middle finger, 3rd fret of E. 3rd finger drops all the way down to the 3rd fret of your high E string, your bottom string. Strumming all the strings with your right hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm going to show you a variation on this that involves all the fingers. The reason for this, well, it just, in some songwriting, the G chord changes shape depending on the song. So as before, same thing happens where your first finger is on the second fret of your A, middle finger on 3rd fret of E. Nothing changes there. The difference here is now your 3rd finger doesn't go to the bottom string, it goes to the B string on the 3rd fret. And instead, your pinky finger goes on the 3rd fret of your high E. So you'll see that your 2 fingers, your 3rd finger and pinky finger, are tight together on the same fret of the bottom 2 strings. Nothing changes in the right hand, you strum all the strings. Now I'll just take a look quickly as to how to switch back and forth between an E minor and a G. You see, I find it to be the easiest chord to switch back and forth with. Okay, so we start with an E minor. E minor, 2nd fret of A, and 2nd fret of your D string, right? 2 fingers close together. Here's what's going to happen. All right, taking your middle finger off, it's going to reach for the 3rd fret, but as you do that, don't forget we want to make sure that that first finger is nice and close to the top of that fret to make it easy for that 3rd finger to reach over. Otherwise, if you kind of keep it in the same place, you'll find that you'll be like maybe reaching a little too much, and you get used to the idea of sort of sliding it up and down just so that you kind of make room as you go back and forth between the 2 chords for the finger that's moving. So again, back to that, just start with that, right? Taking your middle finger off and reaching for the 3rd finger, allowing your first finger to slide up just a bit to take up a bit of that room. And now we'll start with just the 1 finger, and then you'll add that at the after you've added that 3rd finger. Of course, try to add them both at the same time. But if you're new to this, you'll find that your 3rd finger and your pinky finger tend to be a little delayed when you first start guitar, and that's okay. They'll just catch up. So let's try that. So now that you've tried that, let's try strumming E minor 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Take a pause. Now find your bearings. Add your middle finger. Add your 3rd finger and strum. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back to E minor. 2, 3, 4. Middle finger comes up. First finger slides up. 3rd finger gets added. Okay, now we're going to try it without a pause. Starting on the E minor at this tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, switch. Switch. 1, 2, 3. Switch. 2, 3. Okay? Remember, if your third finger is not landing at the same time as when we switch the chords, don't worry about it. It'll catch up. Let's try it with the 2 fingers now. Adding all fingers, I should say. Okay, starting on the E minor chord. 2, 3, 4. Now slide your middle finger up. Now add the 2 fingers to the bottom. 2 strings. Going back to E minor. Slide down. Add your middle finger. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, slide it up. Add your middle finger. Add the 2 fingers. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, this time with no pause, starting at the E minor, and 1, 2, 3, switch. 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 1, 2, 3, rest. Okay. Now, let's briefly look at A minor and D for a second. With those, they require a lot more movement, but the same principles apply. Remember that your index and your middle finger are a little stronger, a little smarter than the other 2 fingers, so those will be the ones to make the first movements, and then these ones will catch up later. The reason for this is that I don't want you stopping your strumming with your right hand to compensate for some slow fingers. No matter what, keep your right hand going like it's a robot, like it's a clock. It doesn't stop strumming, even for the slowest of fingers. Otherwise, you'll practice stopping while you play the song, and you don't want to do that. So let's just look quickly at the A chord. With the A chord, what you'll have to do for this is the same thing. You'll have to take away your 3rd finger, and then both these fingers have to move. First finger will move up. Middle finger will reach up to the 3rd fret, and then you'll add your 3rd finger on the bottom string. So again, that movement is a little bit more happening like that. From an A chord, 1, 2, 3, 4. Take a rest. Start to add your fingers. And then your 3rd finger goes down. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Try the same thing, but this time with the adding the 2 fingers. The nice thing about this one is that you do kind of have a finger in common. If it's strong enough, as you move to the G chord, you can maybe keep that finger on that string and just kind of let it slide up. It can be your anchor. But I understand the 3rd finger, can, like I was saying, could be a little weak. So not to worry if you can't do that. But it is something that you'll eventually do the better you get. You see there, I'll let my pinky finger be the last finger I add. And now, quickly going to the D chord, it's a big jump, right? It's fairly, what I'll say is far away from the G chord. So as you move, all the fingers have to move at the same time. These 2 fingers have to reach up to those top 2 strings, and then this finger needs to drop down to the bottom string. So try without strumming. Now try with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. And over to a G. And switch. Coming back to a D chord is a little tricky. Now the other variation I have on the G, the nice thing about that version, is that you can keep your 3rd finger in the same spot. So as you move to the G chord, keep your 3rd finger down, your 1st and 2nd finger move up to where they got to go, and then you add your pinky last. So that 3rd finger becomes a bit of an anchor. Try that a couple times without strumming. And now with the strumming. 3, 4. So now to review all the chords that we've done in the videos so far, we have an E minor, we have an A chord, We have the D chord, and we have the G chord. Maybe some of the songs that you're familiar with are starting to, you can hear them in the chords that you've just learned. And we will do that for sure in the next lesson. In the meantime, check out the additional videos where it's some chord practice, going back and forth between the chords, and you may even find a little bit of a song in there. I'll see you in the next lesson. Good luck practicing, and all the best.